Okay, so I went through the process of bleeding it from the top down through the bottom of the head. Okay, and now, I ran through that quite a few different times. One thing that I would like everybody to take into consideration is where the liquid is coming from and where it is going to and how it is being used. You don't want to use things that already have particles in them. You just have to be conscientious of what you're doing when you're doing this and really, put some brain power into it. Okay, so the next step for us is we want not to draw out of this fluid, considering that the head has been resting in this fluid already so who knows if there's anything microscopic in here floating around. We don't want to push that back down because the next step is to go from up through the head. So now is when it gets dangerous. So what we did for that, I'm not going to show you, but I use, they say they recommend the Windex for the ammonia purposes, and it's said that the fumes of the ammonia actually break down. It's the fumes of the ammonia that break down. So it's whatever's, the ammonia that's in the Windex. So, I don't quite understand the concept of using Windex if the whole real purpose is for the ammonia in it. So I've been known to at times to mix denatured alcohol, isopropyl, or rubbing alcohol, and ammonia in equal parts. And that's what I've done for this, is I've mixed ammonia, denatured, and rubbing alcohol in equal parts. I'm drawing that up through my little 99-cent Cinderella here. And we're loaded up in here, so then at this point, now we're just going to feed one of the nipples. Talk to me, baby. We're going to get rid of this, whatever it's been sitting in for the last few hours. And I'm going to attempt to show you slowly what to hope for, I think, hopefully. What do we got here? Let me see. Focus on your bad boy. Okay. One thing also to be aware of is we have, our chips, and our board is in there, and, everything's connected. So we have to be kind of conscientious of that. You want the water or the liquid flowing kind of at an angle away from all of those sensitive parts right there. So, but for demonstration purposes, we can already see here we got... see those little bubbles? I wish my camera would focus a little bit better. But these little, droplets of water that we're starting to see kind of purge out of there. Slowly. See that? Just percolating. Slowly. If I apply more pressure, I bet you we can get a nice little spray coming out of there. Yeah, we do. So, so now I could just take this bad boy, and I could just kind of, I can't really tell in the light, but, oh no, see, so it wouldn't allow us to apply enough pressure to actually get a stream out of there, which tells us that there is actually something still in there, so we'll just shoot some of this ammonia alcohol mix down into there. We're seeing that we're getting a little bit of, it's communicating with us down there at that bottom nozzle. You can see it, and we're getting a little bit of play out of it. Oh, you see the little baby stream shooting out of there? So we'll just let that sit for a second. We know that the head and the also a notation, these screws here, 1, 2, and 3. You unscrew these, this little silver plate comes off, and then from that point where the 2 screws are at, there's little posts in here, and this whole board here is just set down into that post, and this whole entire manifold comes off. And one of the very first things that I do is actually remove those screws and shoot out the manifold, with your syringe or whatever, to ensure that there's, right out of the gate, you're getting these channels or these manifold channels cleaned out and cleared up. Regardless. So that's right out of the gate. You get that taken care of. And it's, it's a sensitive part, so be gentle, but it's not a big deal. You drop it back down in there, screw it back together, bada bing, bada boom. So we shot that bottom one. Now we're going to shoot one more up and just see if we get a little bit more play out of all this. See, it's a tedious process. Oh, yeah, we got some action right there. That's good. And these machines have been sitting for about 6 months, I'd like to just say, too. So, and in the Phoenix heat. So, I'm getting a little bit of mist out of this guy here. Nice little area. He looks like a little stream. Oh, yeah, I'm getting a nice stream out of there already. And what you're really looking for when you're looking at this stream is it all shooting parallel, with the head? Or is it all shooting parallel? Or do you have one little nozzle that's shooting off to the side, or maybe one nozzle that's not firing, so it'll, like this, you'll have a missing nozzle where that means that little baby nozzle and they're still clogged out. So, when you have that nice, beautiful spray and all those nozzles are shooting at that nice, beautiful pattern parallel to one another, not something kicked out, that's clogged also. So what you're looking for is all the nozzles, so to speak, shooting in unison with nothing flicked out and nothing missing. Comprende? So, our second one is looking pretty good. We're getting some action out of it. We're not looking for perfect yet. It's a slow process. That's why Epson wants, I think for this head, $300. Not, too big of a deal. But for something like this guy over here, they want something more like $1,200, $1,300, $1,500. No way, Jose. I think Epson's kind of in the business of heads and ink and not quite the machines. So, we're just going to keep running through all that, seeing if we can get any kind of love out of this bad boy. This third channel, not sure what color it is, but we're not getting any love out of that. None. Oh, yeah. Maybe you guys see it? See, what is that, cyan? See that? That's good. Get rid of that slowly. Like I said, it's a slow process, Tip that down. We don't really want that going anywhere. Just kind of shake it off. Shake those nasty little inks out of there, off there. Get a new little run going. Tip, 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 tip. Shake, 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 shake. And slowly but surely, I don't want to start forcing it and try to see if I could get the actual nice, beautiful spray yet, because 12 seconds ago, this thing didn't want to shoot at all. And the last thing, those little membranes in there, you start expanding them and shooting them past where they're designed to go. And what ends up happening is you bore out a bigger hole in this print head. And so what could end up happening from that is your head will just flood, on that channel. It'll just allow ink to kind of flow through it. Now we'll go to the next one, especially if it's a pressurized system. Yeah, we'll just shoot up to the next one. Still got some cyan on there. Oh, yeah, and a lot easier. This one's just, and again, it's right back to, just baby love taps on the handle up here. They are very fragile little membranes in there, and they're all connected to a motherboard. And it's kind of, I don't fully understand it. I just know what I know. So you just take it easy until you know for sure that the head's gone. And then once you know the head's gone, then why not try shooting it with bleach, soaking it in bleach for a half hour, whatever it is. At that point the head's already gone, so you might as well try brake part cleaner. I don't know. I tried bleach for a half hour on a 7800 head that was already gone. I actually ultrasonicked it for about 15 minutes after letting it sit for 15 minutes in bleach. And this is after the head went to some company that said they specialize in cleaning the heads. And they charged us $500 only to tell us that they couldn't fix the head. They shipped it back to us. I said, well, if the head's gone, I'm going to try bleach. Because you let bleach sit and it'll eat at stuff, Ooh, shoot a spray right at you, huh? A little bit easier. Again, we're just going to load that whole little compartment that's inside there, the chamber or channel of the manifold. Try to drop some of this ammonia, denatured alcohol, rubbing alcohol into the nozzles. Just get it in there, kind of work it in there, and then we'll let it sit, and then hopefully, ooh, see right there, what do we got coming out of there? I'm sorry about the camera, guys. I got a lamp holding my cell phone up. No professional photographer here. So same process, just leaking, just baby dripping. That's good. I'm not seeing any color, which tells me that I probably could get away with applying more pressure because it doesn't seem to be clogged up. If there's no color releasing out of there, you might have a good head or a good nozzle. Yeah, and see right away, I don't know if you can see that on camera, but that's what you're really shooting for, is that nice, see if I can get a I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but I got a nice stream coming out of there. Looking at it from this angle, which would be opposite of what you guys see, I see two nozzles almost in the center that are not shooting still. So, that's what I mean. It's just a slow process. You go back through, work it. And we'll go back and just try to maybe shoot this one again. The cyan in particular was the one that was giving us the hardest time. Depending on the types of inks, like I was mentioning too, is going to kind of depict or not, I don't want to say it entirely, it's not, but to a certain degree it's going to depict whether you're able to pull the head back or not, reclaim the head, because different inks, different properties, you understand. So latex printers, good luck. Solvent based printers, good luck. Pigment based, dye based, a lot higher success rate than solvent based, latex based, even UV based. Just because, again, the nature of the properties of the ink. Solvent based, I don't know, in contrast to which one's designed to last for longer, but solvent based is no joke. So yeah, and anybody else curious about Echo solvents and running Echo solvents through Epson DX5s, there's a couple things you have to do. You have to change the manifold, and obviously your wiper blade or your pump assembly, few things. But yeah, it's totally doable. For the people questioning, sublimation, can I shoot sublimation ink through an Epson all day long, man? No problem. I would recommend not getting cheap Japanese sublimation ink. I shouldn't even say that it's cheap. It's just, it's so unknown. I mean, you call to get like a profile for the ink, for example, and they don't speak English. So then really you don't know what's going on, when you're dealing with all that stuff. So it's better to just keep everything where you can deal with people in your own, native tongue, and, they warranty it and they get all the appropriate profiles and whatnot. But, yeah, see, so we're definitely getting some stream. I don't know if you can see that or not. We're not getting, see that? We got like 3, 4, 5. This one's firing kind of weird. Definitely got some clogged nozzles on that one. So again, we'll just go back. Now we go back to our Windex alcohol, denatured alcohol mix. Just let that bad boy sit there for a second. Something like that. And we'll let that sit there for a while. Then we'll come back to the other one and give that a run, but you don't need to see that because you just saw it already. And then the next step from there will be 3, I guess. I just somehow made 3 videos, kind of short, kind of long, whatever. And don't forget, what do we got here? They recommend that bad boy right there, 7.62 mil. It's not it. It's plastic, which is kind of cool because then it makes it more difficult to when you're sucking or drawing or pushing on your syringe here. When you have rubber, the rubber's a little bit weaker, so it'll allow the rubber to squeeze together and prevent anywhere else further down the line from doing its job, versus plastic is it's a little bit harder to pull that plastic taut together while you're trying to draw up or whatever it is. But the thing is that plastic tubing doesn't have the same, I don't know, elasticity or whatever it is here at this point. But that stuff, if you're going to go and try to do this right here, it's not going to work. It doesn't fit it. There is another size of tubing, but it's not the diameter. It's only the mil and thickness of the tubing, which really isn't too important. Yeah, anyway, so I'm going to just shut down for a minute. I'm going to finish doing that one. Then I'm going to give that one a little sweet talking to. Then I'm going to talk to that one. And then probably talk to those guys over there. And then, and then we'll be back. So stay tuned.